Hey everyone, it has been a minute, but I am back and just wanted to make a video to cover a few things, kind of what's been going on since my chemotherapy, what to kind of expect from here. Want to touch base on the GoFundMe that my family started, so you guys knew what that was for. Thank you for those who donated to it. And yeah, just some general questions and understandings for everybody to have. So as you can see, I am home. It is amazing and wonderful. I genuinely did not know if I would be here, but I was able to do my treatment and come back and take a break here and there. So that was just a really wonderful feeling. Also, just getting treatment at all, getting something in my veins was the most wonderful thing. So now that I'm here and yeah, I'm scruffy and I'm having a wonderful rest, which has been so overdue and needed. Forgive me if my voice sounds a little different. It will to some people, to some not. That's cool too. Um, but yeah, so I finished my first round of chemo in Texas at MD Anderson, and with that, I flew home the next day and just kind of have been cocooning it. Um, a lot of different things to kind of know. Um, when I do these, I've got 6 rounds of chemotherapy. The first 2 will be chemotherapy alone. The next 2 will be chemo and radiation, and then the next 2 after that, if we decide to, is going to be chemo alone. I get to take a week or 2 in between when I'm just doing chemo to come home, which is nice. And then when that happens, the first day of chemo, it's 3 days. I am doing both cisplatin and etoposide. So it's like an 8-hour infusion, good times. I get to hang out and just, do nothing, let it go through my veins. The second day is just the etoposide, and on the third day, it's just the etoposide. Those 2 days are like 4 hours each, so it's pretty easy. Then what happens is because it loves to crash your immune system, and my numbers were not perfect, so they put this lovely Neulasta is what this is called. It's got a little teeny tiny, it's almost like an IV or something. They stick it on my kind of belly area, and it starts beeping. Again, if you know me, I don't love needles. This is the worst Jack in the Box game in the world. I felt like I was in the middle of Saw, because my worst phobia is needles, and then this thing is just, they stick it on you and it starts flashing and beeping. Cool. I'm thinking like it's gonna like stick the needle in there like in 10 seconds or so. He's not telling me what the countdown is, how long it takes. I'm like, what in the world? It's been like 2 minutes. I am like sweating crazy, and then finally it stuck me. And I'm like, all right, fine. So it stays on. This will stay on for 27 hours after. That way I can fly home that next day, and then it'll inject me with Neulasta, which is kind of something that helps your bone marrow to release white blood cells. It helps your body out in that way. They can't do it the same day. It has to be the day after chemo. But yeah, so that I will have every single time. My chemo rounds are going to be cycle round, what have you. It's going to be 3 weeks each. So the first 3 days of injections, 18 days of rest. Next 3 days of injection, 18 days of rest. What to expect with this? What happens is, I wasn't quite sure. Everybody has a different experience, so I can only tell you mine, and maybe it'll give you some insight to other people. But there's over 100 different types of chemotherapy, because obviously there's different types of cancers and such, and different treatment plans. With mine, what they do is the first 5 days, and it has been pretty true in my one-time experience so far. The first 5 days, you have the nauseous feeling. They were great. The first day they gave me anti-nausea drugs and IV. The next 2 days, well, for the next 4 days, they gave me pills that I can take to counteract that. I didn't realize I was supposed to take that right away. The second day, I just thought it was going to be in the IV, and it was not. But that's okay. It actually just made me, I could feel like my stomach turning a little bit at night. But I didn't have any kind of like a feeling that I was going to do anything otherwise. So I took the pill. Half hour later, totally fine. The turning stopped, and it's been good. They gave me a one drug for that steroid to help it work, and then a backup in case that didn't work. So it's been pretty good. And then after day 5, I didn't need to use that. One thing in this I didn't mention was the nadir, NADIR. So what that is I will be, um, you know, nauseous for like 5 days the first week, and then the second week is when my immune system is at its lowest. All the blood cells are like down and out, so I'll be exhausted. And then it starts kind of going up after that. This happens with all chemotherapy types. The days depends on what type of regimen you're on. Mine personally, etoposide and cisplatin happens generally around day 7 to 10, and I think it lasts for 7 to 10 days ish. But my immune system will be back up hopefully in time to go to the next chemotherapy at the end of the 3 week thing. But that's if I say something like, "Oh, I can't, hang out because of Nate or what have you." I really thought maybe at the end of this I'd be able to go to a game night or, do things here and there. But I'm just really being cautious, at least especially in this first round with this Nader situation, because I can't risk exposure when my immune system is so shot that any kind of infection, any cold or something could really affect me. So just know I love the idea of hanging out with you all, but right now I've got to be bubble boy. So good times. I have been sleeping though, probably 12 hours a day, solid, like 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. It's 10:30 in the morning here. I slept 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. last night, and right now I sound like I have a lot of energy, and I kind of do, at least in my voice. My body doesn't match what mentally I have. It doesn't let me kind of go run a marathon like I feel kind of full of energy in my tone, but yeah, the body is not there. And what I'm learning throughout this is it was more unpredictable than I thought, because I just in the middle of the day, like right now is a really good moment. I figured I will shoot this as soon as I wake up from my 12-hour slumber and talk to you guys. Um, but yeah, so right now sounds wonderful. Give it an hour, seriously, and I'm probably going to. In the past, I've put something in the microwave to eat. I just lay down on the couch where the 3 minutes was going, and I fell asleep for an hour. It it happens, and there's no like rhyme or reason to it as far as timing wise. And that's why a lot of times with uh, people going through chemo, they can't make plans, and not just because of exposure, but because they don't know when they're going to have energy. And it really, really is. It's a surprise. Like I will be on a conversation trying to talk to somebody for maybe 15 minutes. The first like 5 minutes in that conversation, I'm like this. This feels very normal to me. But maybe by the end of this video too, I don't know. But by like the 5 or 10 minute mark, I'm like, cool. I'm a little lightheaded, but I'm still here. I'll let them talk more, I guess. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so it's in and out, up and down. Even though I'll sleep a solid 12 hours, I'll take a nap, wake up, take a nap, wake up, and no rhyme or reason to it. It's just listening to my body. And if you guys know me at all, I have always been a fan of listening to my body. And I encourage that for anybody, cancer or not. Like, if you can take a nap and you feel like your body wants to, do it. Sleep is productive. So, believe it or not, I had to teach myself that in college back in the day. But yeah, sleep, naps, wonderful. And this has been in a way, the most wonderful forced vacation. Because not only does my body need it, my mind needed it after just being trashed from all the stress, all the insurance crap, all of the struggles I talked to you guys about before. But this has just been so wonderful. One of my friends painted a picture of a butterfly and gave it to me and told me about the quote about butterflies don't go out in the rain, because it'll damage their wings. So that's their time to rest. And I feel like that now I get to kind of give my body and myself some time to rest. So yeah, so that's kind of what to expect with me. Expect the unexpected. Hopefully, I'll be able to reach out and talk to people here and there, and feel free to reach out to me. I've heard people say it again and again that oh, I don't want to bug you. Oh, dude, I will be asleep. That's fine. Like I don't have to get back to you, and that's such a great freedom. And I know people, I sound guilty or something, being like, I don't have to get back. No, but I don't. I get to be selfish in this time. To some people, that is hard. Sometimes to me, it is. Sometimes it's not, because I know I'm taking care of my body, and that has to come number one right now. Um, and my mind. So I appreciate, if I don't get back to you, trust I will eventually, if not right away, but a lot of times I will pretty right away. Also, thank you for the offers of help. I know it's really hard, guys, when you don't know what I need, you don't know what to do, and you feel helpless. And that's such, in a way, like that's a wonderful feeling for me, because it's just people want to help, and not everybody has that. But I'm sorry that right now I don't have a lot of tasks for that, but I am reaching out. I did, post on Facebook, hey, Kevin and I need to ride home from the airport. And a friend, snagged that up, and I deleted it. So I'm not going to be shy about that. My mother also taught me, don't take away somebody's blessing. So if they want to help you, let them. And I really am trying to lean into that, because there is no shame. I've never had any shame as a human being anyway. We all do things for a reason anyway, but I'm not going to be shy or shameful, because I've helped people in the past, and my body needs it. My mind needs it. I need it. And that's okay. So I'm not going to let guilt get in the way of that. Um, so that's also a very freeing thought, because it's very easy to get in your own way with things like that. So um, yeah, I appreciate all the help. I'll try to figure out some things that I might need here and there. Um, I will say, if you're offering something, thank you, but please try not to offer it 5 times, because there's only so many times I can say no, and put the energy in saying no to the same thing, I should say. But that's also not fair for anybody else, because I'm like, you don't know what I need or don't need, and I get it. But if I can take the help, I will definitely, I'll accept it. I got no qualms about about that. So I will be going back to Texas on the 7th. Um, that I've got a whole week lined up. That's the end of that week. I'll be starting my chemotherapy again. I think the 11th, 12th, 13th. It's been Thursday, Friday, Saturday for chemos over there. But then the week before, or earlier in that week, I have a lot of things to do. Um, Sunday is the 7th. I'll land, and then Monday I got 5 appointments. Um, and then Wednesday I've got 6 appointments. Boom, 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 back in a row, which is amazing. It's so great that there is so much help, and that they are so well organized there. I do not legitimately understand how MD Anderson does this. Honestly, like, even with the best program, they're setting up so many appointments when they are needed, and these guys are, this is like the best cancer center in the world, if not at least the country. Google it. They're always at the top of the list. So, and they've got people flying in all over the world for them. They are busy people, but they still somehow make these schedules come together. And I've got to say, you know, there's, it still exists. The odds being against me, the probabilities with sinonasals, and then the things in between that make the chances of success, survival, curative lower here and there. But there is a difference between that average in the country or in the world and being at MD Anderson itself. Um, so I know I was planning for the worst, hoping for the best. But I want to tell you guys so that you know where I'm at headspace wise. Being there is night and day. Like it's actually hopeful. Um, and I'm not going by like some watered down wishy washy numbers or feelings. It's the science. Like it's the numbers that they have seen these things over and over. They know what should work in a very high percentage, and they also know what they when to give an I don't know, which has been incredibly rare to get an I don't know there. Um, so my chances that I had a month ago are not my chances now because I fought for myself and I'm at this place. So, whatever, uh, I was preparing for, I'm not preparing so hard for that in a way. Um, and not to say that, things won't go right or wrong, but, um, but my chances are better being at this place. So that hopefully, I don't want to scare people with all these, rare and aggressive and bad. I'm always going to tell you the truth, though. Trust me, I'm not going to be shy about that. But but the chances overall are much much better of success, singly because I am at this place that is amazing. So I'm gonna go back on the 7th. They do have to pull a wisdom tooth that's half exposed because when they do radiation, that can cause some jawbone death, basically. Later on in life, I shouldn't have anything pulled because that can also cause, I forgot if it's called neuropathy or something of the jawbone. Um, but it's just, you're shooting laser beams through, this area to get to something that's really back here. Or radiation beams. So it's gonna, affect some things. But that's okay. They're smart and they're doing it now. So I'll do that surgery on the 9th, I believe. And then my chemo 11th, 12th, 13th. I have a meeting on the 15th, and I believe I'll be back in LA again if everything goes well on the 16th, maybe the night of the 15th. So that's my plan. I'll be home for maybe a week and a half. Then I'll go back again for radiation, be there for like 2 solid months. And that's also when I'll do the 5 week scan to see if things are working. Now, the medical oncologist thinks that, again, nothing's perfect, but 90% ish chance that what we're doing right now with just the chemo alone should see some shrinkage in this, which is amazing because, again, being through the cryptform plates in the skull, not at the brain or not into the brain, but like through that skull bone, timing is crazy. I did not have weeks. I did not have weeks to let this go anymore. And that's just, again, it's not hyperbole. It's just facts of how it is. But again, I'm like, I don't care how it happened, who did it, what have you. I mean, thank you God again. But I got care when I needed it, maybe just in the nick of time. But I am there now. It is happening, and it's a wonderful thing. Um, so, sorry, looking at going through all these. Only other thing I wanted to touch base on is, my family started the GoFundMe. I won't touch too heavy on this, but just I wanted to say thank you for those guys and gals who, the people who donated to that. Um, it's again, the stresses was one thing. What I'm gonna do, all that kind of stuff. Work was already hard enough. Um, I had made so little. I'm on food stamps because the last year or two has not been good with that. But I'm still, I was giving my all. But that's how life works sometimes, and that's okay. Um, but yeah, with that, I just want to let you guys know kind of the things that goes toward that doesn't get covered. Um, so obviously general bills. It can take months. I think I read something today like a 5 months waiting list on disability, which I hope doesn't take that long, but it could take months for things to kick in. Yes, I've applied already, getting on that. Um, and but while that happens, I still have to, pay my rent and phone bill, all that kind of stuff. But also just I'm on the waiting list for places to stay for free or discounted out there. Um, those can take, up to 3 months to get okayed. This next trip, I probably won't have that in time, so I'll probably have to go with a discounted hotel. So I think it's like $100 a night at this place. A lot of the rooms out there are 250 or so regularly. I know it's crazy, but again, it's a medical center. Everybody's flocking from all over the world, so it makes sense. Um, so hopefully I'll get in with that. I would like to think with radiation I will eventually for the free one. Um, but also like flights back and forth, it doesn't get covered. Um, I'm gonna look into a program that will give me one flight later on. They're out of vouchers right now, but later on I might be able to get one round trip flight for me and a caretaker, which is wonderful. Um, and then things like meals in the cafeteria. Um, a lot of times I'm doing 5 appointments a day. I don't have the luxury to like drive away to go eat here or there. I just have to eat what's there, and they don't accept food camps in the cafeteria, so all good. Yeah, it's just meals every day. With that, obviously, I got to eat. And then Ubers. I'm being smart. The hotel I was staying at, and I'll probably stay at again, has a shuttle that will take you to and from appointments. They'll even take you to get a bite to eat from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Um, but then after that, it's shut. Give you an example, I have an appointment at 6:30 a.m. on the 8th, so I have to take an Uber there. And then I have my proton therapy radiation is most of them are set up for 8 or 8:30 p.m. So the shuttle won't be running then. I'll have to take an Uber back, that kind of stuff. But that also goes to show like even when somebody gives something like $10, that's usually it's like $8 one way. So that helps a lot. It really does make a difference. Like you literally got me to an appointment. Um, when I don't have things coming in unfortunately yet. So I don't care if it's a big amount, a tiny amount. Like it all matters. So you really are making a difference with that, no matter what it is, and even just sharing it, guys. I get really weird with money because a lot of things are free, like smiling at people and sharing a GoFundMe. But money is just it. I don't know. I guess it makes me a little nervous to accept or something that like I owe anybody anything, but I know. Sorry, I grew up in a family. We were paycheck to paycheck, and I still live that way, and that's okay. You know, um, but I know the value of a dollar, and it means a lot just to even give a dollar. So anyway, I won't touch on that anymore, but I think you get the idea. It's very much appreciated. So thank you for the people who've done that, and anybody can share or even thoughts and prayers. I'm so happy to take that because yes, it in my mind works. Um, so yeah, that is I think yeah everything that I've got that I just wanted to touch base about with you guys. Um, Really hopeful. Again, thank you guys just for being there. I appreciate it, and also know that you are not a bad friend. If we have not talked in a while, I want you all to know that because it's just I've got the best friends who we haven't talked in years, and it's just like yesterday when we pick up the phone. So you don't need to feel guilty or anything for reaching out or not reaching out. Everybody has their own thing, and this is no judgment on anybody. I'm just happy that I have the village that I do. So even if we haven't talked in years, even being able to think of those fun, silly times is a wonderful thing that's comforting for me. So don't anybody go there any more than they have because I've had some friends who reset and felt so guilty, but no, you're fine. You're great. I love all of you guys. You're amazing human beings in my life that I am very fortunate to be blessed with because a lot of people have nobody. So I'm glad that I get to have this with you all. So thanks for being a part of it. And yeah, I'll let you know what happens in the future next time. We'll see what comes. For now, have a good day. Like I always say, count my blessings while I have them, and it is a good day. So, yay.